Obviously, they've got their issue with Dubois. We'll see what happens, but that's for them to overcome now. And it's a very difficult situation.
Daniel Dubois ill, can't fight. Fighters' health and safety is the most important thing. So I felt for Daniel. But look, if he rests and...
Eddie Hearn sounds cautious but concerned. This isn't a typical setback. It's heavyweight boxing where one late change can ruin the show. He knows the stakes are high, and finding a last-minute replacement for Usyk? That's no easy task. Something about this situation feels off, and Hearn can sense it too. And just as things were heating up, Adam Smith chimed in with even more speculation and raised eyebrows around Dubois' timing.
Weights, they don't have to check weigh, and hopefully they can find a replacement if Dubois is out of the fight.
Any heavyweights that you
Adam Smith isn't buying it. Dubois falling ill right before the press event? It screams of bad timing, or worse, a cover-up. The word speculation here isn't just casual, it's loaded. Something fishy's going on, and the boxing world can smell it. And it wasn't just British pundits. Teddy Atlas had his say, and he's questioning who truly wants the smoke.
Daniel Dubois gets ill just around the press conference time. A lot of rumors, speculation, names being...
Teddy Atlas is calling it straight. Usyk doesn't care who's in front of him. He just wants a fight, and now that Dubois has backed out, the urgency to find a worthy opponent is real. But Teddy's hesitance says a lot. Can anyone else truly match Usyk's level on short notice? As speculation turned into confirmation, Johnny Nelson shared a breaking update directly from Frank Warren's camp.
And what he wants to do. He wants to fight the best guy available. He was ready to fight the best guy available, the world champion. So give me the next best guy. Well, this guy, you sure? I mean, you want it? Yeah.
And there it is. Johnny confirms Dubois won't show up at the press conference. No face-off, no presence, just silence. Illness or excuse? We don't know yet, but for a fighter on the biggest stage of his life, this absence raises far more questions than answers. But hold on, Nelson's next statement about Dubois' trainer Don Charles only deepens the mystery?
World champion Daniel Dubois is sick and currently being evaluated by the doctor. A replacement is being pursued in the event that he doesn't pass the
Johnny Nelson's tone tells you everything. You can feel the shock, the confusion, and that sinking feeling in his gut. 1 minute, Dubois' trainer is cheerful, suggesting Daniel's ready to speak for himself. The next, full chaos. There's hesitation in Nelson's voice, as if even he's not sure if this is real or a mind game. He questions if this could be a red herring, some last-minute trick to throw Usyk off his rhythm. But even if that were the case, it's a risky move. And what if Dubois doesn't turn up at all? That's where things get real murky. Nelson asks the uncomfortable question, can someone step in on short notice to face a killer like Usyk? It's unlikely. It's madness. And it underlines what we're all thinking. Daniel Dubois might not be physically or mentally fit to go through with this rematch. The press conference absence isn't just PR drama. It could be the beginning of a total collapse from Team Dubois.
This morning, he was in high spirits saying, Donnie, you're coming to the press conference. He said, no, I'm letting Daniel do the talking. So this is fresh news, unless you know what, it's a red herring. Unless I'm all right, I'll turn up to fight. I don't know, but what if he doesn't fight? What do we do? It's not the top of the bill. It's still a great bill. Would they be able to get someone in to stand in at short notice?
Frank Warren's frustration spills through like a man who's seen months of work unravel in seconds. This wasn't just a scheduled fight, it was a rebuilt narrative for Dubois, a comeback, a second chance. And now, it's gone. Warren is angry because he's not just lost a main event, he's lost trust, time, and a mountain of investment. He lays it out plainly. The money pumped into training camps, the chefs, sparring partners, flights, setups, all gone in a blink. You can hear it in his voice, the kind of disappointment that stings because it was avoidable. The worst part, he can't even claim insurance easily. It's a double loss. And while he tries to stay composed, the words very, very disappointed hit hard. That isn't just business talk. That's a promoter who's been let down. Warren isn't one to play victim, so when he sounds like this, you know it's serious. And this emotional blow isn't just to him, it's to every fan who bought in, every ticket holder, every fighter on the undercard. Still, Warren tried to stay professional, and what he said next offers a glimpse into what might come next for Dubois.
He's pissed off. I mean, he was a big fight. He's trained very hard. If you don't fight, you don't get paid. You imagine the cost involved in a training camp. Booking places, set the camp up, bringing the sparring partners in, the nutritionists, the chefs, trainers and everybody, and you don't get paid. It's a massive loss. You can't insure it, or if you do, it costs a fortune to insure. But very, very disappointing.
Warren's tone softens here, shifting from frustration to damage control. He's trying to reassure fans and investors alike that Dubois isn't finished, that this is just a setback. But let's be honest, his words feel more hopeful than confident. Once he's ready is vague. What does ready even mean now? Physically fit? Mentally stable? Or just brave enough to step back in the arena after pulling out days before the biggest fight of his life? Warren says Dubois will be back in camp soon, but he knows this isn't just about schedules and sparring. It's about reputation. The world saw Dubois go down against Usyk the first time. This was supposed to be redemption. Now the world sees a fighter who vanished under pressure. Whether it was illness, fear, or something in between, fans don't forget. So the big question is, when Dubois returns, will anyone truly believe he's ready for elite level smoke again? If you think that's all, wait until you hear what Daniel himself had to say about their first clash. It might just leave you speechless.
We make our decision afterwards what we're going to do, but Daniel, once he's ready and over his illness, he'll be back into camp and we'll have him out soon.
Dubois still can't let it go. That body shot controversy from the first Usyk fight clearly lives rent-free in his mind. He feels robbed, like he was denied a fair win. But here's the brutal truth. Champions don't dwell, they adapt, and claiming robbery doesn't erase the image of him on one knee. When he says he's going to throw the kitchen sink at Usyk next time, it almost sounds like desperate overcompensation. You can feel he wants redemption, but is that desire enough when you're facing a master tactician like Usyk? It's bold to talk about landing everywhere, but can Dubois even get close enough to touch him again, let alone survive the mental chess match? This statement reveals a fighter still haunted by the past, still looking for justice instead of a game plan, and that in elite boxing can be a fatal flaw. If there is a next time, he better bring more than frustration. And speaking of mentality, Tony Bellew delivered a powerful reality check about the demons Dubois still has to conquer.
I think he's been down a few times with body shots, so yeah, there's definitely this time I've got to throw the kitchen sink at him, you know. Yeah.
Tony Bellew doesn't mince words, and when he talks about demons, he means it. Dubois isn't just fighting opponents in the ring, he's battling ghosts in his head. The defeat to Usyk wasn't just physical, it left a mental scar, and Bellew knows firsthand how deep those wounds can run. When he says Dubois is the same fighter, he doesn't mean that as a compliment. The talent is there, but the mindset, that's where the war is truly lost or won. Bellew's message is clear. If Dubois doesn't come in with a completely new mentality, he's already beaten. And now that he's pulled out of the rematch, that mental strength is an even greater question. Fans, pundits, and opponents will all be watching closely. Has Dubois grown or cracked? Bellew respects the game too much to sugarcoat it. If Daniel wants to come back stronger, he'll have to confront every doubt, every whisper, every label that's been thrown his way. And that battle, it starts long before the first bell. But the controversy doesn't stop there. Wait till you hear what Bellew and others had to say about that infamous body shot.
Prove he can take a body shot.
But Daniel Dubois has got a lot of demons to revisit, and he's going to revisit them in this fight. I think he's in a different place mentally now than he was before the first fight. I don't want to say he's grown up and mature, because I think he's the same fighter as he was. It's just his mental approach is going to have to be different.
Tony Bellew doubles down on what many have debated since the first Usyk-Dubois fight. That body shot was not clean. It wasn't just pain. It was placed on the belt line, and Bellew, like many in the sport, didn't like it. It's called a protector for a reason, he says, and he's not wrong. Dubois had a moment, a punch that dropped Usyk, and yet the referee deemed it low, giving Usyk time to recover. That decision changed the entire fight. The narrative flipped from Dubois nearly shocking the world to him once again being labeled a quitter when he went down later. Bellew's statement adds weight to the idea that Dubois was robbed of momentum and potentially of victory. Still, it's a fine line. One fighter's borderline shot is another man's illegal blow. And in this sport, perception is everything. The fans saw Usyk hurt. They saw Dubois go for it, but the moment slipped, and Usyk came back, composed and dangerous. Bellew's honesty here shows the fight still leaves a bitter taste, and it proves one thing: this rematch was never just about revenge. It was about unfinished business. And if you needed proof that Usyk took none of this lightly, just wait till you hear Joe Rogan's reaction to the leaked training footage.
He's a 27-year-old veteran. He's experienced everything the boxing can throw at him. He's been dropped, he's been down, he's been stopped, and he's found a way back. And he's now on the back of his biggest ever victories. He's on his best ever run. You know, the victory over AJ was something else.
I'm going to make the case for our man here, what he has to prove. And I think that obviously there was a lot of debate around the last shot. There's been talk of going way back to the amateur days that Usyk doesn't like him to the belly.
That's a BF.
The theory coming out from Team Usyk was that the shot was an illegal shot below the belt.
What's your thoughts on, do you believe it was illegal? I do.
I thought it was illegal or legal?
I thought it was illegal. It's called a protector for a reason.
Yeah.
He hits the protector.
It's illegal.
Yeah, it's below the navel.
It's a low blow.
The navel's essentially
What's your thoughts, Carl?
I thought it was alright.
Did you?
Yeah, but I'm back. I'm a man, so
no. We've all got to go on. We've all got to accept this right now. Was it good for you? It wasn't good. It wasn't a good choice.
When Joe Rogan, a man who's seen every fight style under the sun, pauses in awe, you know something special is happening. Usyk's leaked training footage was nothing short of jaw-dropping. Speed, movement, cardio, precision. He looked like a welterweight trapped in a heavyweight's body. Rogan couldn't believe the athleticism, and honestly, neither could fans. This wasn't just a fighter prepping for a payday, it was a man sharpening himself into a weapon of war. The intensity in Usyk's drills, the non-stop movement, the balance under pressure, it screamed focus, it screamed obsession. That's what separates great fighters from generational ones. Usyk doesn't just prepare, he perfects. And this footage proves why many believe Dubois, even fully fit, was stepping into a mismatch. While Dubois was dodging press conferences and drowning in mental fog, Usyk was outworking everyone. No shortcuts, no excuses, just discipline. That's what champions are made of. Rogan saw it, we all did, and with this kind of form, it's no wonder fans and analysts were starting to believe Dubois wouldn't just lose again, he might not even last. But there are still voices in Dubois' corner, and Amir Khan made a bold claim about what could have been.
Давай.
Amir Khan is no stranger to big fights, and he's throwing his support behind Dubois with conviction. Calling Daniel a beast and a hard fighter to beat is a strong endorsement, especially from a former world champion. Khan believes the first fight taught Dubois valuable lessons and that he would have returned smarter, sharper, and more focused. It's a fair point, every fighter evolves after a defeat, but the real question is, has Dubois truly learned or just been haunted? Khan thinks the tools are there: power, size, athleticism. No doubt. But tools only matter when you've got the will to use them under fire. And as we've seen, Usyk isn't just skilled, he's relentless, mentally impenetrable. To beat a man like that, you need more than potential. You need conviction. Khan's belief in Dubois is heartfelt, and it reminds us that the heavyweight division thrives on comeback stories. But as it stands, that comeback is once again on hold, and the longer Dubois stays out, the harder it'll be to make believers out of fans again. And just when you thought the critics couldn't be harsher, Usyk himself spoke up, and what he said was both cold and cutting.
Beast, he's a good fighter. He's a hard fighter to beat, and I think he'll learn from the mistakes he made in the first fight against Usyk, and it will give him a hard fight. Look, he has the tools to win.
When Usyk speaks, it's rarely personal, but this felt like a sharp jab straight to Dubois' spirit. With eerie calmness, Usyk recounts the criticisms, how fans called Dubois a quitter after the Joyce fight, how he finished their bout on one knee, then he leans in. Does he have a weakness? He repeats, little bit. Yes, it's chilling. He isn't shouting, he's not mocking, he's diagnosing. like a surgeon who already knows where the nerve damage is. And then comes the knockout quote, "Daniel, little bit afraid." Those words carry more weight than any punch, coming from a man who's shared the ring with him, who's felt his power, and still saw hesitation in his eyes that hits hard. Usyk's not being arrogant, he's being honest. Brutally so, and in doing that, he's pulled the curtain back on a truth many didn't want to admit. This isn't just about illness, it's about fear, doubt, fragility, and if that's the foundation Dubois is standing on, then pulling out of the rematch might not just be medical, it might be survival.
Do you think he's a better fighter now than he was the first time he fought?
Maybe, yeah, maybe, because a lot of years, 2, 3, yeah, yeah. Now I think Daniel draw.
And do you think
like a boxer, like a man?
Yeah. Does he deserve this opportunity, or is there someone else more deserving? Joe Parker maybe, or does Daniel deserve his shot?
Yeah, I think Daniel deserve, because Daniel from UK. It's interesting for all people.
What was meant to be a blockbuster rematch between Alexander Usyk and Daniel Dubois has now spiraled into one of the most chaotic storylines in recent heavyweight memory. Just days before the showdown, Dubois pulls out, citing illness, but fans aren't buying the official line. Questions are swirling. Was it really sickness or the weight of pressure from a man haunted by past defeats? The body shot controversy, the knee against Joyce, and now this. Dubois' story was supposed to be about redemption, a fighter who learned, evolved, and came back stronger. Instead, we're left with silence, cancellations, and a cloud of doubt hanging over his name. Meanwhile, Usyk remains the constant, focused, composed, and dangerous. Training leaks show a man operating on another level, and the boxing world knows it. If Dubois doesn't come back soon, his reputation might never recover, and if he does, the pressure will be relentless, because fans don't forget, and neither do champions like Usyk. The truth is, this was more than just a fight. It was Dubois' shot to prove he belonged among the elite. Now that opportunity is gone, and it may not return. Usyk, by contrast, continues building his legacy, unbothered by the drama. He's ready to face whoever dares step in, and if that's not Dubois, it'll be someone else brave enough to try. But the question remains, did Dubois step back to heal or to hide? The ring may be empty this week, but the echoes of what could have been will haunt fans for a long time. Are you still backing Dubois, or has Usyk already claimed victory without even throwing a punch? Drop your take in the comments below.